This is a specimen of human pancreas, and I'm going to zoom in on different parts of this pancreas to illustrate how much information there's actually in this specimen. As an experienced histologist, I can read this specimen. If I had a glass slide and placed it on the microscope with a specimen like this and looked at various magnifications, I would have to change the objectives and go higher and higher and more detailed magnification of the specimen. However, I'm looking at a specimen that was prepared by a special scanning technique, and it's a whole slide specimen, a virtual slide if you will, that I can zoom in and pan around. So first of all, let's just make a simple zoom right in stepwise to higher magnification. So gradually we're seeing these blue, darker blue or purple oval and circular shaped structures that are nuclei of the cells of the pancreas. And we see different colors. We see pink or reddish, and we see blue and different densities of blue. These are actually pancreatic cells that produce different enzymes that go into the duodenum. And the bluish areas are where there's rough endoplasmic reticulum. That is one of the organelles in the pancreas that produces the enzymes that are proteins. And the reddish areas are the granules of the product that are ready to be released. Now if we zoom out a bit, those products are released into ducts. And here you have a row of epithelial cells. And these epithelial cells line the ducts that finally coalesce into larger and larger ducts and finally end up in the pancreatic duct that goes into the duodenum. And surrounding that is this pink material, which is collagen. It's a part of connective tissue. And in there you have nuclei that are not circular or ovoid, but they're rather attenuated. These are fibroblasts. They actually produce the collagen fibers. If we zoom out and go to a margin here, we'll see some nerve tissue. These are nerve fibers, little bundles of nerve fibers, and right next to them are adipose cells. If we back up even more, we'll see many adipose cells over here. This is adipose tissue. And now let's try to find a blood vessel somewhere in here, maybe here. Well, this is a very tiny blood vessel with one layer of smooth muscle around it. And of course, these are red blood cells within the vessel. And here are some white cells that have nuclei. So you see, as an experienced histologist, I can continue and read lots of information in this. The bulk of this pancreas is composed of what we call exocrine gland cells. They produce a product that goes in ducts and is emptied into the intestine. But also there are patches or islands of endocrine cells. These are the islets of Langerhans. And in the islets of Langerhans, there are different cell types that produce, some of them produce insulin, others produce glucagon, and others produce other products that you will learn during the course. So if we back up on this, I've mentioned epithelial tissue. I've mentioned glandular tissue that are producing the pancreatic enzymes. I've mentioned the islets that are producing these hormones. I've mentioned connective tissue and nerve tissue and some muscle tissue. So here we have an organ that is composed of epithelium, connective tissue, muscle, and nerve. So that's the way organs are built up, and your goal in the course is to learn to read a histological specimen in a similar way that I have read, going from low to higher magnification, appreciating the unique pattern of this pancreas and how it will be contrast to the unique pattern, histological pattern of these four basic tissues and their densities compared, for example, to the kidney or to the GI tract, the duodenum, stomach, and so forth. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight into what you're going to learn and your ability. So good luck, and I'll see you in the course.